This conversation features leading experts and menopause advocates sharing their insights and experiences as part of our documentary film on menopause. And today, we are talking to one of the renowned O&G specialists and menopause advocates from Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Dr. Premitha Damodaran. I'm a menopause health advocate in Malaysia. I believe that every woman should be aware of menopause. And with that strong stand, I would like to disseminate that information about menopause throughout the world. I also belong as a board member of the International Menopause Society and also advocate menopause health from the Obstetrical and Gynecological Society of Malaysia. Well, first of all, I always like to pass that message to every woman out there who reach a certain age that menopause is going to happen to all of us. But it's very interesting that every woman is an individual by herself, and how they actually experience menopause is very, very different. Some women would jump for joy and say, I'm so happy to be relieved of having monthly periods, and this is freedom time and I can do whatever I want. And then there is another set of women that actually feel depressed because of that stigma that is actually associated with menopause, and they feel that that's going to change their life around. And I think all that actually matter, because we can clearly see that when a woman is more aware about the changes, when she has a lot of support from people around her, including her partner, family, society, she actually goes through menopause a lot more better. Well, I can share lots and lots and lots of stories. And I think every day I actually learn from women that come to my clinic and share their own stories. I've had women who, because they have been so tired, because they can't sleep at night, who've forgotten to take their children to school. I've had women who have left children in the car. I have had women who have stood up at big business meetings, facing 2,000 people in the crowd, and just could not even say a single word because of the fact that they were just panic-stricken at that time. Anxiety came on, brain fog came on. I've got women who take extra clothes to work because they're sweating through every top that they have. So there are lots and lots of stories. The most common one is the fact that menopause is all doom and gloom. The minute that you hit menopause, your life is going to change, forever, and you're becoming old and decrepit, and your wrinkles are going to start showing. I am so clearly menopausal. I'm like 11 years post-menopausal, and that's what I would like to tell women, that life is not going to change. It's how we think about it. We rejoice about puberty. We should also rejoice about menopause because we've reached there. And now we fine-tune ourselves much more so that we can then go through the next 3 or 4 decades of our lives, because we women are actually living longer. So it's taking away the fact that menopause is bad news. Oh my God, my periods are changing, and so menopause is coming and I'm going to become old now. So I think that's the biggest myth. The other big myth is the fact that it's going to happen at 50. Because we do know that, even though we call you menopause when you don't get a period for 1 whole year. But even before you reach that particular stage, 5 to 7 years of sometimes hormonal imbalances, periods are irregular, symptoms starts coming in. We call this phase perimenopausal. So it can happen even in the early 40s for you to reach menopause at the age of 50. So, getting women to understand that the earlier they actually sort themselves out, it's actually much, much better for them. There are also women that think that menopause is all about hot flushes. It's not. Hot flushes are only one part of those symptoms. It can be the fact that you can't sleep at night, your mood changes, you get generalized joint pains, your skin changes. And what we are looking at the fact that the body's changing. Well, again, as I keep saying, menopause is a bad word, right? So they don't want to think about it. So many women are totally not prepared about it. They only start getting panicky and they start getting prepared about it when their symptoms starts coming in or when they start missing periods. And the periods may miss because of just pure stress. Okay, but when they're in the 40s and they start missing periods, they're automatically thinking about menopause, and that's when they start looking into it a little bit more. But it's interesting how we look at puberty. We're already preparing a girl when she's much younger about puberty changes. And in many ways, I wish that ball turns around and we are actually preparing a woman in her 20s and 30s into a phase where the transition comes in and the menopause comes in. So, in many ways, we should be looking at that and preparing ourselves because we're all growing old. All of us growing. And I keep telling everyone the minute we are born, we grow old. It's just that there are some age milestones that we look forward to and some age milestones that we don't look forward to. So now it's trying to change that around and having a different mindset. Oh, culture plays a huge, huge role. And being in Malaysia and having that multi-ethnic population to deal with, I learn every day. And I learn new things every day. And it's really fascinating because of the fact that culture is there in everything that we do. Now, in culture, they group up everything into aging. This is also aging. So when a woman can't sleep, it's because you're growing old. When a woman has joint pains, it's because you're growing old. But what we are trying to now tell women is that it's two different things. Here you have estrogen deficiency, menopause. Yes, aging is going on the background, but your symptoms are now getting exaggerated because you are going through the menopause transition. Now, culture, society is still not accepting that. And so we are now trying to differentiate two different entities. And so we have a lot of catching up to do. We have a lot of education to do to society. But we have to do this because we have to help women out there so that they can get better and better and better.
Stay tuned for our next talk as we continue to explore the journey, challenges and strength of women through menopause.